Time to digest the trip a little bit. You want to see progress. You want to see improvement. It seemed like, in spurts at least, you saw that in both games, but obviously the results weren't what you want. Do you feel any much better or worse about where you were?
Well, I don't feel any worse. I feel better. I mean, with the exception of 8 minutes in the Michigan game and probably 14 in the Michigan State game, we did a lot of good things. You know, the first half of the Michigan State game, and we had 10 assists, a lot of points, 21 points off turnovers. Our activity was great. We shot the ball good, but a lot of those were good shots we made for each other, 10 assists. And a lot of them were on the 3 points shots. But, you know, our activity wasn't nearly as good. Our deflection numbers in the second half weren't nearly as good. They got a lot better looks, and we took some bad shots. We just got impatient and too much dribbling, not enough ball movement. So disappointed in that. But to answer your question, I thought we got better in both games. We just didn't do enough for long enough periods of time.
It was like the last couple of weeks, games have kind of come in waves, very short time period to prepare for the next one. How have you guys handled that?
Not very well. We haven't been sharp. We haven't, you know, jumped to the next game, and so we knew it was our tough stretch, 4 or 5 on the road, and we knew we had a lot of travel, so we just didn't get it done, and that's as blunt as I can be. We knew it was our tough stretch. When I got the schedule, saw 4 out of 5, and we got a tough turnaround here. You know, we flew back, and now we got 2 days to get ready here. So, but you just got to fight through it, and you got to find a way, and we got to try to find a way tomorrow night.
Something on the defensive end, Dana, that over these all 5 games, even with slight improvement the past couple of games, that is there a commonality or an issue that is bothering you most? Because like 3-point defense is an example where Michigan State can't shoot very well, but obviously in the second half did. Is there one aspect of it that's sticking with you that you're really harping on most?
Well, there's so many aspects of our defense that, you know, our communication isn't good. You mentioned the second half, the 4 threes they hit. One was out of a double team where, you know, our hands went down the double team and he fired a shot, you know, across. We mess up a switch. They hit a 3. They hit one in transition, you know, where we just don't talk and guy gets a wide open one on top. So, no, you know, you give them 4 threes and they only hit 4 the second half, but all 4 of them were wide open. And so you're disappointed in that, but 12-0 second chance points, we didn't rebound the ball. There's not one aspect that's killing us. Goes from game to game. What, you know, whether it be Garcia, you know, getting his career high or whatever against us. The other night, you know, guy gets on a roll. We don't slow him down. So defensively, our numbers have dropped and our activity have dropped. You know, the first half, I thought Nate and Supreme and the guys did a great job of challenging some shots at the hole, which improved our numbers. We didn't do nearly as good the second half. Their points in the paint went way up. A lot of them were off, you know, offensive rebound putbacks. So to answer your question, there's not one area that we're doing really well in, and it varies from game to game what's killing us.
Where do you go to as a coach to address some of the issues? Because it's not often in your time here that we've seen, you know, this long of a stretch where you guys have been unable to get a win. Where do you go to look to try and solve the issues, especially going into Tuesday?
Well, you got to keep the energy up. Guys got to get excited about playing. We could sure use a boost from the fans. You know, it's a situation where, you know, anytime you lose, you know, there's energy level drops a little bit. And so as coaches, we're trying to keep them fired up about playing. We had a spirited practice, so I thought that went well. But you got to bring it on game night. You got to bring it for 40 minutes. You see all the close games in the conference. Northwestern's last 2 games are illustration of that. A 2-point win over USC, and then a close loss at Washington, that game that could have went either way. So they're a team that plays a lot of close games, and we're going to have to be ready to play and find a way to win.
There was a lot that was different the other day, first half, second half. KJ's production in particular was really striking, first half versus second half. Can he be an X factor for you? In particular, is it more just everybody on the roster just needs to do?
Oh, I think it's everybody. You know, KJ had gone through a slump there where he hadn't played very well. He'd be the first one to admit it. Had a great first half, 7 rebounds. His activity was great. Second half, you know, wasn't quite the same. Didn't get a rebound, and almost the same amount of time, both halves. So, again, it's just guys being able to focus and maintain. It's playing really hard. The time you're getting, you know, just got to go make it happen. We got guys kind of coasting through some minutes. I've got to do a better job getting guys in and out, and hopefully guys will respond to that.
A decade ago, I know none of the players on this year's team were part of that team, but you went through a similar stretch where you started 9-0 or 13-0, I think, that year, and had 5 straight, and that team figured it out and fought through it. What were the things that team did that maybe could be a lesson for this team?
Well, they played really hard. We had a lot of vets on that team. Johnny Lloyd and Jason was on that. Khalees was on that team. We went through a really tough stretch there. We were 3-8 in the league, and had to win 7 games in a row just to get our going again. But going back to that team, we started defending better. We won some of the close games that we lost. If you look in the 8 losses that we had there, you know, a lot of them went right down the wire, and we didn't get it done. So we're going to have to play better in all aspects of the game. And if we do that, the wins will come. And that's what I told them at the beginning of this stretch when we lost a couple games. Fellas, you know, our problem is we haven't gotten any better here in the last few weeks. We haven't paid attention to detail. We haven't gotten any better. That's as much on me as it is on them. And we're focused now on trying to get better. And I thought we got better in the Michigan game. We had a good first half against Michigan State. We didn't obviously have a good second half. But we just got to keep grinding and hope something clicks.
How much of as you kind of try to balance the focus, I suppose, Dan, of the individual game, because that's the task at hand, obviously, with also the bigger picture of, with every one of these games, particularly 2 this week, this could determine who goes or doesn't go even to Indianapolis with who you're playing. How much does that have? Is that at all part of the thought, part of the messaging of?
Well, I haven't brought that up. We got to get better. You know, I think the guys got enough on their minds just trying to focus in on what we've got to do to get better. And I think they know the reality of where we're at. They can look at a situation and look where we're at. I don't think I need to pound it on them. I got to get them better. We got to get better. And so, you know, we're focused on that. I think if we do get better, then the wins will come.
Couple more.
You obviously got, ironically, 7 games left for the rest of this Big Ten schedule. Do you feel like you guys are going to need kind of a 7-game stretch of wins like you did, you know, a dozen years ago to kind of get back on?
Oh, I don't know. Again, we're just talking about Northwestern and playing better in all aspects of the game. Can't worry about the next one or the one after that. Can't worry about tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And we got to try to play better than what we've been playing. And they have to do a better job focusing on scouting reports, taking away some of the strengths that the other team has. We've got to do a better job communicating on the floor. Our ball movement's got to be better. And obviously the rebounding in a couple of our losses has really hurt us. So we're going to have to do a better job on the boards.
What stands out about Northwestern and just the challenges that they'll present for anybody?
Well, they get what they want out of a possession. You know, they've got some vets that move the ball pretty good. Barry's a really good shooter. So, you know, we're going to have to take away their strengths. And it won't be easy because they play to them. And they're patient, and they'll play to them. And that's where we've lost some of our patience in possessions. But they're very patient. They work it till they get what they want. And so we're going to have some long possessions defensively. and try to take away what they're trying to do with their strengths.